Hello everyone, it's Dom here from Esports News UK at Insomnia69, powered by ESI London and AGON by AOC. And I've just said to everyone, are they ready? And they said, are we Ruddy? So that'll give you an indication of what to expect from this interview. I'm joined by Ruddy Esports, reached the final of the Insomnia69 BYOC Open. They were on stage, lost to Grey Cabbage unfortunately, but did well to get there. And I'm going to go through each person here and ask who they are and what they do. So, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Prosper. I'm a support player. I used to be a professional League of Legends player, but I've come out of retirement for this Insomnia and potentially future ones to come. But that's me.
Okay. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm DBL. I play top lane. I've been playing for about 3 years now. This is my third year in semi-pro. I'm pretty much just play for fun, to be honest. So.
Okay, cool. And who are you and what do you do?
I'm Regan, co-owner of Ruddy Esports. Used to play League semi-professionally, thankfully no longer.
And who are you? What do you do? The main man.
I'm Don Jake. I'm also happy that Regan doesn't play professionally anymore. I did a bit of casting. I did LFL English on NLC. Also own Ruddy alongside Regan and my good friend Harry. Yeah.
And who are you and what do you do? We met at the last Insomnia.
I'm Rhythm. I play ADC. Just had my first professional split just gone by, and this is my second Insomnia, and thankful to have been able to play on stage.
Yeah. And for background, who did you play in your first professional split?
I played with ZRL, which is in Greek League.
Okay, cool. And who are you and what do you do? Don Jake's son, I've been told.
Yeah, well, not my biological dad, but do you know what I mean? It's like close growing up. I'm Trizzy, global superstar jungler for Ruddy. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be here. Playing with these guys, you know what I mean?
We've got someone with some global experience now on the global stage. Who are you and what do you do?
My name's Chaz. I'm a professional player from Australia. I played at MSI last year and currently playing in the ERLs over in Europe the past couple months. So, yeah.
Cool. And tell us, guys, how has it been at Insomnia? For some of you, it's the first LAN. Others are experienced. Prosper. What are the general things?
I told myself I would never go to Birmingham. That was like a personal rule that I set myself. Unfortunately, I've had to break it. It feels like, it feels as if a part of me will be left in Birmingham, that never to be returned. So, at least we almost won.
Someone said to you, I don't know if it was Prosper, saying passing the UK Esports legend mantle to Don Jake.
That was a really nice moment. The first time I met Prosper, because to me, I don't want to be like too sycophantic because he's sitting right next to me, but fucking, sorry, I've sworn there.
No, you go for it.
Okay, fucking yeah. yeah. But fucking, when I met Prosper, like when I came through in the UK scene and just back in the day, like Prosper was like one of those names that was like a hallmark and like playing in all these like Fnatic teams and stuff like that. So for me, when I saw him and he was like, you're the UK scene legend at the moment, and it was like, I joked with him like, oh, it's like a changing of the guard, like I feel like you're passing the mantle to me in some way, and I don't feel like that's solely on him to be able to do, but for him to even say that was like, it's such a nice moment to go from kind of watching him and now having an org and he's playing for us, so it's a real honour.
And for me, you can't really be a UK scene legend without playing at Insomnia. Now you've got stage experience. What was it like playing on stage?
I mean, obviously it was the most tense game of my career. My hands were shaking. When you see Grey Cabbage roll up on stage, you know that they're gonna pick all engage. They're just gonna fist fight you. It's nerve wracking.
And you were checking your phone before the match ended.
The match had ended.
We were joking, yeah.
No, I actually got a notification that you'd released a new article, so I was speeding on to read that.
How was it for everyone else? Any other firsts on LAN stage? Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was my first time playing on stage. I was really grateful to actually get some stage experience, especially after last LAN where we were, one place off of stage. First game was, very, very uncomfortable. Didn't really feel at home, but after that you begin to smooth into it. Unfortunately we lost, but it was still really, really good experience.
I thought game 2 in particular was pretty close, pretty even throughout, and had you won that one, you 2-1 up, then the swing's in your favour.
It's a different series. Yeah. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I feel like that game, I think everyone in this room knows that we should have won that one. It's just a bit of a difficult one. These things happen, right, though? Like, I feel like with stage, it's so momentum driven. Like, they had the momentum from that game. I think game 3, they just kind of rolled us.
Yeah. Same with sports as well, right? You have a winner, you have a loser, and you beat them before. Is that right? You beat them in the tournament.
We smashed them into lower bracket to make it to the final. When did we play them? Did we play them quarters or semis? We played them quarters and we sent them down to the lower bracket, and then they've obviously, it's like germs, isn't it? You get rid of them, but they're not always gone.
0.1% about. You know what I mean?
They're the germs the dentists are angry about.
Yeah, man. One attendance.
Came back with a vengeance.
And Trizzy, that was a first stage experience for you as well. How was that? Did you enjoy it? Obviously you lost, but being up there and soaking in the atmosphere, the crowd was actually a pretty good turnout as well.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an early start, so I was kind of a bit like, what can I say, gamers don't want to get up early, I can get behind that. But no, it was first time on stage, and I really enjoyed being there. Obviously, kind of want a different result, but it's nice to kind of get that first taste of, that's kind of cool. People are watching me play. Nice.
And I have to ask you as well, Chaz, this is a UK LAN. What was it like playing here? Is it compared to maybe other... compared to MSI, we can't really compare it. But are there other tournaments you've taken part in? What did you think of a UK LAN Insomnia?
I mean, we don't really have these type of events too often in Australia. I think I've participated in one. And I guess it was a pretty similar turnout. So it was really cool for me, I guess. The whole event as a whole, this stuff just doesn't happen in Australia. Esports isn't as big, so seeing so many people here with their computers and just walking around all the time, that was really fun. Obviously, playing on stage is always cool, but I think when you play on MSI, that's crazy. So to me, I didn't really have many nerves playing. It was just kind of a fun little event with the boys. So yeah, the main thing for me was just the whole event was a really cool vibe, cool experience, something that I don't really get as an Australian.
What's next for you? I'm curious.
That's still up for debate currently.
Okay.
I'll be playing a 10-year contract. I'll be playing somewhere.
I'm taking him down to the pub later. He's gonna get him drunk. We'll sign him on a 10-year deal.
Yeah, I'll be playing somewhere. Just unsure of the country of residence right now.
So. And just lastly with you as well, what did you think of? Have you been to the UK before? What did you think of the food here? Have you done Nando's or whatever else?
Yeah, I mean Australia and UK is not too different. I feel the standard meals and shit is the same. I haven't came here and been oh wow, this is such a crazy thing that I've never tried before. It's this is the same or slightly different to Australia, because I don't know, I feel it's pretty similar cultural stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've never been here before, never really been to Europe. But to me, the reason I wanted to come and stay in England was because it was so similar to Australia. I felt pretty at home. So
yeah, and I have to ask, what's next for you as well, Prospect? I'll ask everyone, but are you sort of, what is it, semi-retired? What's happening?
I mean, I'd say fully retired, but definitely want to try and get involved in UK sports at a grassroots level. So if there's a round or there's something I can do, I'll try and see what I can do.
What about coaching?
I tried coaching. Wasn't a fan.
Oh really? What didn't you like about it?
Just yeah, it's just a play. They're all evil. They're all just rats. As a player myself, I can speak. No, I mean maybe it was because at the time I still wanted to play when I was trying it, but just it's got all of the same problems that being a player has. A lot of instability. It's a bit of you kind of need a bit of lucky break. Who not what you know. I kind of wanted. Part of the reason I got out of esports was to get out of that. I obviously still care about the scene and enjoy it as a hobby. And I might do things in that nature, but I don't think I'd want to do it for money ever.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask each of you what's next then. Ambitions maybe.
Ambitions. Honestly, I don't really know. I think I still want to keep playing for fun. It's always something I've enjoyed. I think in terms of the next steps, part of the fun, a large part of the fun is just keeping, trying to climb the ladder, right? So I think I just need to focus on myself and focus on getting better. In terms of actual, UK lands, it was great to come to. So I'll probably come back for I-70. Maybe I'll bring Rhythm and Don Jake's son again. And then we can form another team. Yeah. And we'll see if we get, mid-support. But yeah, I think for me, it's just, right now, I'm finishing some stuff up for Lucent, who are, the Div 2 team I'm playing for right now, and then after that I'll just work on myself, see where I go.
Yeah, and shout out to Lucent, see how they get on. Even the promotions, relegations at the moment, that's still going on, isn't it?
Week, so
yeah, and there was London United withdrawn, so you had a few bars and bits like that. Yeah, okay. And just saying, before we say what's the future of Ruddy and talk a bit more about Ruddy, there aren't many teams that take part. I think we had 11 that entered this tournament. Was it 13 in the end, plus an intermediate? Could have been worse. Siege, unfortunately, only had 4, which was pretty poor.
4, and I saw a group of army lads that had won 2nd place, and they got 750 quid.
RAF, I think.
We probably could have beaten them. We've never played the game before. Like, we should have entered ourselves.
Would you like to see more league teams? Because it was around 3 or 4 years ago. It just hit a wall, and some of the bigger teams that used to turn up didn't bother anymore. They said it's not worth it, it's too expensive. I'd like to see more teams, but I understand it's a money thing.
I think, I know, for example, I'd love to see teams like X7 come to an Insomnia.
Well, you see, Josh is here and no team.
That's what I mean. Like,
I'm
you know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
lie about that. He's poor from high Rav, to be honest with you. He's really let the ball go there.
I messaged Kasing and asked him if he's going to play. I asked him last one as well. He's just like,
But they've got an academy team, so they could have sent
True.
academy. They could have sent UK players. There are lots of other orgs as well. Like I know, not to.
go on, name some names.
No, but the thing is, I do know some names of some very specific orgs that had said they were going to come and then ended up not coming. But for me, if we talk about the praises, not to go like dwell on the cynicism of whatever, but for me, I liked seeing Into the Breach being here. I know that was a thing that they negotiated. That's Rally Ray's lot, who were here as Team Solar Milk. It's just a team of friends last time, and now they've actually got an outside sponsor, and not even just a team that doesn't really do league. This is kind of their first outing into league. Obviously, they've completely shit the bed, so maybe they won't be coming back. But it's nice to try it anyway.
Did you play against Into the Breach in the? How did it go? Tell me any storylines.
Played them in knockout, did we?
No,
we played them in best of 1 and just completely fingered them. So that was nice. And then from that point onwards, they sort of had a bit of a downturn.
And so hi Rav, bring your team next time. What's the future of Ruddy? Tell us about Ruddy Esports. You're Div 3. You've done some interesting videos, and some people have said, revitalise UK scene. You're doing your casting as well.
So for me, and I'll fucking let Regan talk in a second. I just feel like I talk. I'm just a complete word. I motor mouth or whatever. I speak way too much. But for me, the reason we started Ruddy was because there's a plethora of reasons behind it. In terms of, I feel like a lot of orgs take themselves too seriously. A lot of orgs are too outside of what they want to do. They don't really understand what they need to do, what their identity is. For us, it's all about just being a bit laissez-faire, being a bit blasé, not really caring, just being a bit kind of having a unique identity, just not being afraid to say what you want. And I feel like a lot of orgs beyond that will have ego and then think, we can deliver on these things, and then it's never what's happening. We just want to be realistic. We want to be truthful, honest. Just give the players a good experience, look after them. And just do stuff that's creative and interesting.
I like the comedy videos. So I've had more of those, please. Regan, I have to talk to you because you've gone from player to owner.
Yes.
What's that been like? And tell us your thoughts about Ruddy as well, and why you got involved.
I think the transition was probably a forced one rather than a choice one. Well, away from player, because my hands just don't work, basically. But why were you so serious?
I thought you've had an injury.
No, it's just shit. I'm terrible at the game. I'm terrible at the game, but no, basically.
The way you said it, my hands hurt. I thought you
no, my hands don't.
What do they call it? Repetitive strain injury. You had RSI or something like that. All right.
Because he was our support in Div 3 last year.
I misunderstood you.
He was our support in Div 3. Talk about his hands hurt. My fucking eyes hurt.
I had a sour performance in Div 3 last split for Ruddy.
Very smelly.
But me and Jake always had an idea of starting an org, and Ruddy's a word that we I don't know about made up, but it's something we just started saying in our friendship group.
The origins is because Ruddy is like a euphemism for bloody, and for me, I find it interesting. You've got that weird kind of dichotomy whereby older people the boomer generation, so not Dom, a step above that. But anyway, sorry.
I get called a boomer. I do say bloody. Yeah. Bloody hell.
But do you know some people above that generation will say, "Oh, bloody's like a swear word," and they'll say,
"Yes, they were." Yeah, my mum used to say.
We always wanted to play around that, pretending that was offensive. There's I like the kind of in and out cynicism of pretending that things are offensive, playing around with barriers and stuff.
Aren't you, for someone who's outspoken and will speak your mind, doesn't care too much about what others think? You've censored the word bloody, so aren't you a PG org?
That's the irony.
I'm trying to wind him up here,
The worst thing about that, Dom, is I've explained it to you, and you
haven't taken it,
and you've missed it.
I'm being the antagonistic journalist, so I've got to do my role.
Completely, absolute agent of chaos, as Dom Sacco.
We'll move on. We were saying what's next as well. Rhythm, we'll come on to you for it as well.
Well, it depends a lot on what happens in the next few months. I'm hopefully going to get a little bit higher in solo queue. I think I could be doing a lot better, but I had to split my focus essentially between playing my split and then also trying to do things IRL. So if I manage to get that up, I've got some good VODs, some good experience from this LAN, and the VODs from my regular split in the Greek League. Hopefully, looking to spring, get a decent Div 1 ERL offer, and then continue from there. Or if things don't go so well, or if I change my mind, then maybe university. So. Yeah.
And we've got a little bit of a link here, because Prosper is brother of Artorius, and didn't Artorius play in the Greek League? Did you go up against him? Did you beat him? Or
I don't think we had a game versus him. Because I don't
been a different season.
I don't think he played this split. I think he played the previous split as well. But no, there are actually quite a few UK players who had been playing in.
I need to cover that a bit closely. Are there a couple you can shout out?
A couple that were playing in that split. I'm not sure. I don't think there were any playing that split.
Okay, they've switched. Yeah.
Okay. But no, there's normally about 2 decent teams. I wasn't on one of the decent teams, but the league itself has had some decent talent come out of it and go to some of the bigger ERLs. So yeah, I mean, it was a good starting point for me, because that's pretty much what it is. I want to get some experience, then maybe move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, you're a very calm ADC. That's a tough role. Do you think it's some people say it's the hardest role in the game? Would you agree? The level you guys play?
No, we're gonna have some bias from everybody here.
You've been speaking to some liars.
Solo queue, maybe. You know, you get targeted in solo queue, don't you?
AD carries are some of the most melodramatic drama queen children of all time in solo queue.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I missed 2 melee minions. Go FF. Let's not play the game anymore.
To be fair, I've played in my low silver gold. I had a match where my support player took 1 minion off the ADC, and the ADC just flashed into the bush and quit.
Yeah, there you go. And he represents.
That happens in higher relos, does it?
He represents every AD carry player, quite literally.
Lastly, what's next for you? We've asked Chaz already.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think I might be down to play comp again, but it's got to be on the right team.
Get him as a streamer. He's gonna be a streamer for Ruddy.
So I'm kind of open to that, because I feel like I'm a bit, I like to chat. Especially when I play, I always vibe out listening to music.
I'm not sure if
You've got a good smile for streaming. You need. I'm too monotone and boring, but to be a streamer, you need a good smile and charm. You got that, yeah.
So he did a little boot camp in Korea with a lot of quite well-known streamer people. He did, not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was with. I don't even know, but I was with like Potent, Elo Santa, Buspoo, Scrub Noob. We were in Korea for a whole month, just seeing how high we could get. Also just nice to travel to a different country, especially a place that's so culturally strange from the UK.
What's your Twitch channel?
It's Ezra Tristan. And he's changing. He's changed to something Trizzy, like young Trizzy or something. Trizzy getting busy, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Dude, it's so to rack around.
I like that.
Around is Trizzy. That would have been great, but unfortunately.
Just lastly, thoughts on UK esports and the state of the scene. Well, we've got your thoughts in another interview. We'll get a quick summary.
Yeah, I think people will be pretty much in. It's been interesting because a lot of these guys, I feel like Prosper's gotten out because of his shit. DBL's he's still wading in the waters, still wading in the mud. Riga was never really there, to be honest. No, I'm joking.
I think the best way to look at it is it's like what you said earlier, where there's all these orgs, but no one's turned up to this event. And what does that show?
Yeah.
I mean, it either shows that, okay, it's expensive to come, but you can take that couple £100 loss to get involved with the scene and help the grassroots.
It's twice a year as well. If you join a football team, it's gonna. I don't know what the prices are now, but if you're a player in a football team, you're gonna cost 100 to play for a team, your local team. It's gonna cost you 100 or 150 for the year to get the kit, go to all the games and all that, or more. So, do we still think there's a bit of entitlement?
I don't know if it's entitlement. I just think people are very disenfranchised with UK esports in general. I think a lot of people have been like, wow. I mean, I know for me there was a lot of disenfranchisement this split. I mean, we had our interview, I think, before the split had started, but for me, it feels almost as if you can put a load of money in and it can go down the drain. And that's just the nature of business sometimes, but it also feels like I'm not getting rewarded or incentivized to put my money in. So it's like, why? And I can kind of sympathize in some ways with a lot of other orgs. Yeah. I think that's a whole hotbed topic. Like, I look at like the way that like Verdant's been treated in Div 3 this split, like trying to go up. I look at like some of the mismanagement of like TO stuff. Like, we played Div 3 and like literally we were playing and it would be like, you have 7-day period to play your games, and like I'm scared to tell the enemy manager what day we can't play, because they're probably just going to say that's the only day we can play. There's so many people that just it's so like it's literally like the underworld there. It's like the criminal underworld in Div 3.
I'll get your views on UK sports, and then I'll go around and I'll ask what your best thing was about this LAN. Okay, and then we'll end after that. So
Yeah.
UK sports Prosper, your experienced player in the scene here.
Yeah, I mean, from less of an org point of view, like I just agree. Like back in the day, you could come to a LAN and there was like maybe like 100 league players there. Of all like, and you would have a lot more diamond players, like master, grandmaster players. There'd be a lot more actual competitive teams, but then there'd also be like a lot of guys in the tournament for fun. Which at the end of the day is like, if people aren't willing to turn up to a tournament to play the game just to have a good time, then something's gone wrong. I don't know if that's because you can do things online now, like there's more online tournaments, Discord, how connected you can be has gone up, but when I first, the first time I came to Insomnia, like the moment I found out, like, oh, there's this place where everyone from the UK goes and plays, it wasn't like, oh, I need to make sure I'm earning my ticket money back. It's like, yeah, I want to get involved in that just for the experience. And I feel like that was like the vibe of everyone back in the day, like I-54 when I first started getting in, back when we had, teams like Choke, FM, Infused. Obviously people were playing to win, but yeah, there was this, most like 90% of the people that went there, they would lose money on the weekend, but it was a great experience. And there was, even if you were like, it sounds cheesy, but even if you were enemy teams in the game, everyone got together and had a good time together. So it's just a shame that we don't really have that anymore, because there's a little bit of like magic lost from Insomnia now.
Yeah. Would you go at Epic LAN maybe, because that might be a bit cheaper to get to? That's coming back in October. Hopefully we'll get some teams there.
I think we're planning to do Epic LAN.
Yeah.
For me, it's just, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a big red flag over to Epic LAN. I've tried to look at how much their ticket prices are, and I've got to make an account on their website to look at that. So you got to change that, because otherwise I'm not going to buy a ticket. So
I think they've gone up a bit as well to cope with the inflation in electricity prices. Just to end then, I said the best thing about LAN, but it could be the most memorable thing about this LAN. Best thing or worst thing, or what stuck with you?
Start with Chaz, because I just had to answer that last question, so now I need to think of an answer. Go on.
Okay, we'll start with Chaz. That's the pressure on you now, but it might be easier for you to answer because it is a UK LAN. It's slightly different to what you've done before. So
the question was, what was my favorite thing about the LAN?
Yeah, so you're sort of what have you taken away from I-69?
Well, to me, like, events like this is always just about the people you meet. Obviously playing's fun, but like I play every day for years, so it's like it's still just a pro game at the end of the day. Meeting like all these boys and a bunch of other people around has been really cool. And yeah, just the fact that you don't really get these events in Australia, so this is like pretty special for me. Like coming around and seeing like hundreds, thousands of people even just here watching the game, playing the game, doing other cool stuff around. It's just good experience. Yeah. This stuff just really does not exist in Australia. Like there's things that are like similar, that are just smaller. Like maybe one of the individual parts is like happening, but not all of this stuff together. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Trizzy.
No, honestly, similar thing for me.
Yeah.
The personalities.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, a lot of big personalities in this room. You know what I mean? It's very fun to interact with in person. Yeah. It's nice to always doing stuff online through Discord, but it's a different vibe when you meet people in person. You just get to be like, oh, yeah, this guy's sound.
Yeah. What did you take away with him?
I mean, obviously it's going to be similar things. I think playing with Chaz and Prosper, having people who are very experienced, just being able to play with them is really, really good. Getting actual stage experience, is something that you can only find in so many different places. And then being able to see the people I met, you for example, at last LAN, and just catch up, make those kind of lasting friendships. And as Trizzy said, like put faces to names that you see on Discord, for example. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Really, really enjoyable.
Brilliant. Jake?
For me, let me think. Favourite moment? It's got to be looking after all my kids. Yeah. Asking when do you guys need water or anything? Can I get you water? Oh no, my favourite moment was telling Chaz, the MSI player, that he's got a bedtime of 12:30, and he's got to stop. He's got to go back to his hotel room. That was nice. He wasn't very happy with me, but I felt like it needed to be done. But in all seriousness,
did you go to bed?
No comment. No comment.
It's not being fucking disclosed.
I'll leave the room before you answer.
No comment.
But in all seriousness, it's been absolutely, for me, I think I kind of harped on it with the Prosper answer. I feel like just having these lot represent our org. We've had an org and we've had a roster obviously, but just to have it and it's got a corporeal form, it's got a physical manifestation of it. It's just nice to be able to just have players and just be able to provide them a time, and I hope that they would all agree that I've been able to, we've been able to give them just a good experience, a good memory. For me, that's the most important thing.
That's a great answer. And Regan, what did you take away?
I think the best moment was sharing an Airbnb with Jake. I'd say sleeping next to Jake was. This is the only reason I came, to be perfectly honest. So, I appreciate that.
No, that's crazy, man.
No, in all seriousness, it's just nice to talk to people about what we've got going on and see how people respond to Ruddy.
Can I say what my biggest disappointment of LAN was?
Go on.
Is these brown pants that Regan wears.
I didn't bring them.
These brown pants, and they make his bum look big, boy.
I'm Regan, not Trizzy. Hang on, what's going on here?
It's my bum.
It's his bum.
Cameraman, fail. Cameraman, fail.
Seriously.
It's this bum. The worst thing about this whole thing, my bum's not even that nice. My bum's flat. I got a flat bum. My bum's the flattest bum about, but he just likes to talk about it. The trousers are cold, but I didn't bring them. Next Insomnia, the brown trousers are there.
These brown pants can get Regan in a lot of trouble.
This is the weirdest clip Esports News UK has ever had in its 7 years of history.
Ruddy's in the room.
Ruddy's in the room. I'm getting on a Ruddy rampage.
And on that note, DBL, what have you taken away from this?
Honestly, I'm not sure how I should answer this question after these pieces.
How do you follow that? We're gonna get you your own brown pants for next land.
Yeah, I guess playing on stage was really cool. It was first time as well, so it was like a goal of mine to play on stage. So that's one of the goals down, I guess. Out of like 3 or whatever I have. But yeah, it's pretty much the same as everyone else. Just like meeting all the new people, like walking down the hallway and seeing like, oh, that's the content creator I never thought I'd meet before. It's like really great. So.
All right, Prosper, what did you take away from LAN?
Well, like the rest of all said, meeting people is always great, but I've done that a bunch of times. I think this is the first LAN I've been to where there was like a lot less pressure. It was a bit more fun. Like I've always been on, not to understate Ruddy, but like a lot more serious teams where we've been scrimming. We've been in the middle of other splits at the same time where like we were kind of scrimming full time, whereas this team was made for the tournament. It's a lot more like kind of on the spot. So for me, it was a lot less pressure. It was more just like enjoying the kind of the tournament and the experience, which was like a different kind of vibe, and just being able to kind of take it as a more social and kind of enjoy the event more that way is like a big difference for me. So I enjoyed that.
That's brilliant. Thanks everyone for your time, Ruddy. You've been watching Esports News UK, I69 interview powered by ESI London and AGON by AOC. Thank you for watching, everyone. Follow Ruddy, follow the players. Good luck to their careers, and we'll be back at future LANs for more UK LOL coverage. Bye.